on, guys? It's K-Dub here with another episode of Crypto Zombie. So it's Monday, back on the grind. Pleasure to have you back. Hope you had an awesome weekend. If we have a look at what is going on, we are noticing a mild red day today. Now, we have had some massive run-ups. We've had a lot of green days. This is to be expected. Markets do need to cool off. This is healthy. And also, let's be honest, everyone out there complaining that you weren't able to buy enough cheap Bitcoin, well, you know, here's your opportunity. We don't know how many more opportunities we're going to get to keep buying these really low prices for Bitcoin. So we're going to talk about that today. A lot to talk about. Also, if it's your first time checking out the Crypto Zombie channel and you haven't got subscribed, what are you waiting for? We do this literally every single day. Also, today is the Ledger Nano S giveaway. You guys know we do this every Monday. All you have to do to be eligible to win is drop a comment on literally any video throughout the course of the week. And then we do a giveaway on Monday, which is today, at the end of the video. That being said, let's have a look at the markets. Now, the interesting thing is, even though we're seeing a lot of red, we're actually up $1 billion since I got up this morning. So it's not like we're just like tanking, you know? We're just having a little bit of a cool-off period to be expected. But I want to talk about the altcoins versus the Bitcoins. This is a very hot topic. Now, we thought that we were going to see an altcoin boom, and we had like one day of gains, and then that was really it. So the question is, are we going to get another alt season like the one we saw back in January of 2018, where we were having, you know, 4x, 5x, 6x, 7x, 10x on some of these projects? Or are those just long gone and that's probably not going to happen anymore? And what should we be doing currently right now? What is the best what is the best allocation to have right now as far as tokens versus Bitcoin? We're going to get into that, okay? Having a look right now, we do notice that Bitcoin dominance is around 57%. So it's down from where it was almost up to 60, but it is up from previously when we were having those alt rallies, right? So having a look at some of the biggest gainers, we have Japan content, whatever this is, it looks like it pumped and already started dumping, but it's still up 30%. Insight Chain is up 15, Solve, Dash, Newton, MOAC. Next, Holo, KuCoin, LA Token, Chainlink, but yeah, you'll notice after that, you pretty much just go into the red. So it is a red day, guys. You know, what are you going to do? It's not always a green day in the markets, but there are some altcoins that are doing very well. Matic Network is still going. I mean, this token is practically unstoppable at this point. Look at that massive. It's had the highest volume it's ever had, actually. $169 million in volume. That's insane, guys. So there are altcoins that are doing well. Although, for you conspiracy theorists out there, it is strange how all of the Binance IEOs have been pumping, right? You have Matic Network up 20%. You have Seller Network up 21%. You have Fetch up 26%. BitTorrent was up a little bit, but it fell down a little bit since then. But that was just something to keep in mind. But the one thing I wanted to point out here, you know, if we do look at the past 7 days, you can see that most of these altcoins did outperform Bitcoin in the short term, but we know, you know, sometimes the faster it goes up, the faster it comes down, right? So you can see right here, Bitcoin had a 9.8% over the last 7 days, and look at the other ones: Ethereum 31, XRP 24, Bitcoin Cash 12, EOS 15. Litecoin didn't do so well. Binance up 24, Stellar up 35. So it was smart to actually be in the altcoins, but now the question is, what do we do from here? We're going to get into that. Let's have a look at what happened. So you guys know we had that massive fat finger sell-off. Almost really didn't even make sense, right? What happened? It was definitely manipulation. Was it accidental? Was it intentional? We'll probably never know, but it was, let's just say, quite convenient that they were filling the gap on the CME futures, right? So very convenient that we just happened to sell 5,000 Bitcoin at the wrong price, right? But that's crypto. What are you going to do? These markets are wild. So you can see we did touch down here, but surprisingly enough, we have been supported by this trend line. Now, I am using Bitstamp because this is the exchange that we had it. You could see we wicked all the way down to $6,100. Absolutely insane. Congratulations to anyone who was able to scoop that up on the dip. But as you can see right now, we have not fallen below this trend since that, so that is a good thing. Obviously, we are struggling to break through this $8,200, $8,300 level, and the reason for this is because if we go all the way back, you could see this was a crucial level back at the end of November of 2017 that we were just trying to break through. We couldn't. couldn't. And then once we did, well, you guys know what happened after that, right? So that's the situation we're looking at. And also, just to let you guys know, if we remove everything, you'll notice that we are now above the EMA ribbon again. And this is a good thing because as long as we've been above it, we've generally been in bullish territory. And you can see we had this little fluke and now we're back above it. And look at this last little wick that we had right here. Literally touched the 20 and bounced off of it. So that is a good sign moving forward short term, right? Now, I want to talk about Bitcoin and the Bitcoin volatility. Now, the volatility is certainly back. We're seeing massive swings. I mean, look at this. In just 42 days, okay, Bitcoin pumped 102% to the top. Now, it's pulled back since then, but think about that. Like, in what other markets do you see, you know, commodities or assets move like this? And with lots of volatility, traders are going to love it. You're going to see traders coming into the space. Lots of opportunities to short, lots of opportunities to long, right? You can make money both ways in these markets now. So that's the thing I wanted to point out. And also, another thing, just to show you how fast Bitcoin literally can explode. You know, if we go back to just basically when we finally did break out of this right here, you know, you could see if we just go, you know, right from the time that we broke out all the way up to the all-time high. We don't actually have to go. Actually, yeah, let's actually see exactly how long it took here. Look at that, 22 days. It took 22 days to go from $8,300 to $20,000. Not even a month. Okay, so you could see that this market is definitely extremely fast-paced. Now, we were talking about this chart the other day. We were talking about being potentially in the expansion stage, and I want to revisit this topic again because we really haven't seen a crazy pullback. We had that 20% dip from the fat finger order buy, but that was an accident, or so they're saying it was, right? So the question is, have we actually still not seen that, you know, dump that we're looking for? And I want to go back through history. We can take a look. This is all the way back here, okay? You can see right here, August 16th, 17th, 18th, and 19th of 2012, when we had the exact same circumstances that we had right now. We had the golden cross, and we had that sort of parabolic. You started to do that run up right out of the lower dip, right? So let's have a look, and we'll just measure this right here. So from the bottom, okay, oh, excuse me, I'm sorry, guys. From the top, okay, here, we had a $15 Bitcoin. Imagine that. $15 Bitcoin. All the way to the bottom, it dumped down to about $7.66. And you could see that was about a 50% drop off, right? A 50% sell off before we went parabolic. And you know, after that, I mean, after that, guys, we literally just went up and up and up. You guys know the rest. But, you know, that happened. And I also want to turn our attention to the same thing that happened back in 2015, right? Actually, in November, which is pretty creepy. So you can see we had that same parabolic run up just like we're having right now. And then we hit an all-time high of $500.01. And we did have that pullback. And we've been talking about this on the channel, but just to refresh everybody's mind, you can see that was about a 40% pullback, okay? So what about where we currently are right now? Well, this is sort of the box that we're looking at, right? Because if we had that 40% pullback, just to say we did, but you notice each time it gets a little bit less, like it was 50% the first time, then it was 40%. So why don't we just, for argument's sake, the markets are maturing. Let's say we have a 30%, right? And I have that marked out right here in the box. And you can see this is sort of the zone that we're looking at. So, I mean, personally, if history repeats itself, which it doesn't usually, but it often rhymes, for everyone out there who's a bear, who thinks we're going to dump lower, you know, it looks like the $5,800 level is probably the lowest that we're going to go. But I do want to remind you guys, we have massive support here at the $6,400, $6,500 level. So that's that red line. We're probably not going to fall below it. And if we do, like we did with the Bitstamp situation, you could see we wicked down and instantly, I mean, I'm talking within a matter of minutes, pulled right back up into this blue zone right here, right? So realistically speaking, we still have this support from this trend line that we haven't fell below. So for me personally, the longer we stay up in this region, the less chance there is that we're going to have a bigger drop, okay? So the more we go sideways, the less chance there is. So yeah, I mean, that could be potentially a good thing short term, but we'll have to see. We'll have to keep our eyes on it, guys. Obviously, on the very bullish side, if we do break out of this little blue zone that we're in and we break above this green, well, you better strap on your seatbelts, guys, because it's going to be a bumpy ride. Probably for the best, though. Now, here's the thing that I know everyone's asking. What about these altcoins, right? So Rand Nooner says the market is running, but we still haven't seen the crazy alt pumps where coins do 40% in a day. Is it coming? Mike Novogratz says not this time. Market getting smarter. Bitcoin will outperform. Now, you do know how I feel about this. Long term, Bitcoin is most likely going to outperform every altcoin. In fact, it pretty much has outperformed every altcoin. Actually, it has. Even Binance. Actually, I don't know what Binance is at today, but yeah, for the most part, every other coin. So having a look at this, you can see that we do have these cycles. We do have the alt seasons and we do have the Bitcoin season. You can look at them by the dominance right here. Obviously, here is the crazy alt season that we had right after the all-time high for Bitcoin. You can see Bitcoin had a sell-off from 62% all the way down to 32%. And the altcoins inversely rose from 11.2 all the way up to 24.8, although that does exclude some coins like Ethereum and stuff like that. I'm just doing the others on here, but it's just to basically give you an idea, right? Now, let's talk about this. What should you be doing? Now, I told you guys a few weeks ago, I was moving more heavily into Bitcoin. I used to hold only like 20% Bitcoin. I moved into Bitcoin 50%. And I got to be honest with you, it's been playing out great. Like I have not lost that much in the Bitcoin comparative, but I've also been able to gain from Bitcoin as it's gone up as well. So currently right now, you still would be doing better if you were holding the majority of Bitcoin, unless you were holding a really good altcoin, like for example, Matic, which just has been going absolutely wild. But for the most part, Bitcoin has been outperforming all of the other tokens if you look at it since we had that dip, right? Now, this is what I want to talk about. Let's dive in. Let's talk about Bitcoin seasons versus altcoin seasons. Also, shout out to Christian Ott for the infographics. I do appreciate it. So, having a look at this, yes, you can look at these little days where altcoins do well, but we've ultimately had about 6 altcoin seasons since December of 2014. Really looking at the charts before then, the market was so young. There really weren't a lot of altcoins to really go by. So 2014 seems to be a great place to start. So you can see on the chart right here, very, very obvious when you look at it, you notice that Bitcoin dominance has fallen. That's the thing that we notice right off the bat, right? So that is the obvious thing. So Bitcoin and altcoin seasons are obviously alternating, and Bitcoin's dominance has decreased over time. So while Bitcoin's dominance was above 80% throughout 2015 and 2016, it went below 60% ever since. Another interesting thing to note is that altcoin seasons appear to be much quicker, right? They're faster than the Bitcoin seasons. Could be because Bitcoin is worth more. It takes more time to accumulate more, has a higher market cap, right? But also have a closer look at the length and frequency of the seasons. Now, this is what's interesting. On average, a Bitcoin season lasted 167 days, while an altcoin season lasted 94 days. So during the last 4 years, alt seasons were much more likely to happen in the first half of the year, with the first quarter having the highest probability of an altcoin season. Is it going to repeat itself again? We don't know. But we do know January of 2018 was massive for the altcoins. The third quarter of a year has almost entirely been dominated by Bitcoin, with the sole exception of a single alt season back in 2015. The fourth quarter of a year has also been dominated by Bitcoin in 2015, 2016, and 2017. However, from September 12th, in 2018 to the end of March in 2019, the Bitcoin dominance decreased, and that was basically the alt season. We talked about that. We pointed it out, right? So how did the market cap of Bitcoin and altcoins change during their respective seasons? Well, the average Bitcoin season made Bitcoin's market cap increase by 117%, while the average altcoin season made the overall market cap of altcoins increase 663%. So you could see why the altcoins are so tempting to new investors, right? Bigger potential chance for gains, but also, as we know, just as quick as they go up, they can go down, right? So the performance of altcoins in Bitcoin seasons, I want to note this also, is worse than the performance of Bitcoin in altcoin seasons. You understand what I'm trying to say? So if you're on the wrong side of the fence and you're holding altcoins during Bitcoin season, you're probably going to lose your value a lot harder than if you screwed up and were in alt season, but you're holding Bitcoin, right? So that's something I wanted to point out. On average, the market cap of altcoins decreased by about 20% during Bitcoin seasons, whereas the market cap, now here is the kicker, the market cap of Bitcoin actually increased by 30% on average during altcoin seasons. So even historically during altcoin season, Bitcoin actually still performs quite well, although not as well, but it still performs. Whereas during Bitcoin season, you tend to see altcoins decreasing by 20%. Okay, so that is something that you really want to keep in mind moving forward when you're trying to decide what you want to do, what you want to hold. So that is something I wanted to bring up. And I also wanted to point out that none of these altcoins that were around back in 2017 are surpassing Bitcoin. You can see right here, if we go to on-chain FX over here, and we look at the percentage down from the all-time high, you can see that Bitcoin is down 61%, right? Now look at all the other coins. XRP 90, Ethereum 83, Stellar 86, EOS 73. I'm just gonna go down here, 91, 76, 94, 90, 91, 86. Now Binance is an exception to the rule. Binance is currently only down 5%. Okay, but look at the rest of these, okay? And Grin doesn't count because that literally just came out. But Monero, 82%, Zcash, 92%, Ethereum Classic, 84%. Do you see what I'm saying? So none of these coins were not only able to get back to their all-time highs, but they were not able to keep up with the Bitcoin comparative. Bitcoin inevitably surpassed them, right? So that is the thing I just wanted to point out. Now, let's just take, for example, something like Holochain, right? Holochain was a very popular, very popular token. A lot of people hyping this up, right? Now, if we go down and we have a look at the charts, you could see that it did very well. Look, dollar value, Bitcoin value. Now, right here, okay, right here on January 28th of 2019, you could see that even though Holochain was worth less in dollar comparative, you see Holochain was only worth this is very small percentages, but 0.001423 cents. Currently, it's worth 1.647, right? But if we go back to the Bitcoin comparative, it's not doing well. You know what I'm saying? So actually, what's crazy is even though people who are holding Holochain right now have been making really good dollar gains, your dollar gains are higher than what you were then, your Bitcoin comparative is down. And I know what you're saying, but yeah, my dollars are up. Yes, but understand, if you had actually sold for Bitcoin back on January 29th and never bought back into Holochain and just held the Bitcoin, you would have more dollar amount today than you would holding Holo, even though the dollar amount is up on Holo. You guys follow me? So that is just something I wanted to point out. So I don't think a lot of these altcoins are ever going to hit their Bitcoin all-time highs again, which is why you do tend to see a lot of these pump and dumps, right? Once they hit their highs, they tend to just sell off, and you don't really see the investors, or at least the big ones, going back in because they're like, hey, I already made my Bitcoin comparative. We know that Bitcoin tends to lead the markets, so we're just going to go back into Bitcoin. So that is pretty much what I wanted to just sort of really instill in your mind, is that no matter how you slice it or dice it, yes, you can make massive gains on these altcoins, but long-term, Bitcoin statistically on the data has proven to be the superior pick overall, which is why I've increased my Bitcoin holdings, but I'm still holding altcoins because there is that chance of making those gains. But I'll tell you what, guys, this time around, if you're a brand new investor, you know, you're going to play the game. You're probably going to gamble. Hey, we all got to get burned. But I know if you're seasoned out there and you've been around for a few years, you know how the game works. And we're going to be a lot smarter this time. And that's why I just say, you know, I'm not a Bitcoin maximalist, but guys, try to hold at least one Bitcoin if you can. I know it's getting more expensive by the day, but if you can pull that off, man, that is what you need to do. Not financial advice. I can't say that. But also, we know that the bull market is here, okay? Arthur Hayes says, a momentary dip below 7K, and a few days later, we are back above 8K, and the September and December contracts are in contango. Booyah! So there we go. That is good news. So let me ask you something, okay? Where do you think we are? We talked about this yesterday. I'm convinced we're in the disbelief stage. And the reason this is because I've actually seen a lot of people on Reddit being like, this is weird, this is fishy, what's going on, why are we going up, this is manipulation, we're gonna dump, it has to do with Tether, it's a scam. Well, that sounds a lot like disbelief to me. It sounds like a lot of people really can't believe that we didn't go all the way down to 1.4K, which I said that on the channel. And honestly, like, a lot of people were commenting telling me that I was too bullish, that I was being too bullish when we were down in these super low regions. They were saying we got to go down to 1.4K. We got to shake out the weaker hands. I mean, guys, like, after a while, it's exhausting. There's just no more sellers. No one's going to sell Who is going to sell Bitcoin at 1,400? Are you going to sell your Bitcoin at 1,000? I'm not going to sell my Bitcoin at 1,400, right? That's a ridiculous number to sell it at. The value of Bitcoin is clearly worth more than 1,400. And that is exactly why we didn't go any lower than we did, right? And also, here's something I got to bring up because this pertains to you specifically. 60% of all Bitcoin have not moved in 1 year. That's 10.5 million Bitcoin being held as a store of value for the last 12 months. This is a game of musical chairs. The music has stopped and these investors already found a chair to sit on. Have you? Are you still sitting on the sidelines? Are you still afraid to dip your toes into cryptocurrency? If you have not bought a Bitcoin yet, I don't know what you're waiting for. We've been talking about it since $3,100 and it's now $8,000. Like, we could go down again, but I mean, do you really want to keep risking it? This is a potential chance to change your future financially. I mean, we're creating a brand new generation of wealth. I mean, this is something that the world has never seen before. And to think that people are sitting on the sidelines, not even just dollar cost averaging blows my freaking mind. I mean, look at this, guys. Institutional investors now make up 60% of Coinbase trading. What are you going to wait until 100% of investors are in and then they do the same thing to the crypto markets that they do to the traditional markets? They're already starting to do it with their futures contracts. So you're seeing all these whales coming into the space, and not to mention, remember we went over the chart yesterday, you're noticing that the amount of wallets that hold at least one Bitcoin are actually at an all-time high, which is crazy when you think about it because Bitcoin used to be super cheap back in the day. So you would think it would have been more common to have more wallets holding, you know, over one Bitcoin back in the day when Bitcoin was cheap. But actually, you're noticing that we're at an all-time high for wallets holding just one Bitcoin, even though one Bitcoin is currently at $8,000. Now, if that doesn't signal the value to you, I don't know what does. Why would anybody hold something like this that doesn't have any value, right? Exactly the point I'm trying to make. And the one other thing I want to talk about that's really signaling to me before we go that this is definitely solidified is this. Bitcoin rallied to 8,000 smells like late 2017, according to JP Morgan analysis. Now, what do these guys do every time they miss the boat? They miss the train. They FUD it, right? They've seen what's been going on with the price. They want the price lower. They want more of it. They're not happy that you have it. They want it, right? And I want to just show you guys, I know you've probably, if you've been on the channel for a while, you've seen this. If you've seen this, feel free to skip it. A lot of new people in the space. I think it's really important that you watch this video at least once. It's called FUD High, then Buy Low, How the Rich Gets Richer. And it's all based on market manipulation, especially with the news, how they FUD it. Bitcoin is dead. You know, don't buy it. It's a suckers rally or whatever. Watch this video and I want to show you exactly how these guys manipulate the markets.
This has really been extremely egregious. So on September 12th, Jamie Dimon says Bitcoin is a fraud. He says he'll fire any one of his traders buying Bitcoin. Bitcoin drops 24%. When Jamie Dimon speaks, people listen. So that weekend, we found out that the largest buyer of a Bitcoin fund that's in Europe that buys physical Bitcoin, right? The largest buyer was Morgan Stanley and JP Morgan. And that's not illegal.
He says it's a fraud.
It says it by anyone that buys it. Yes.
And at the same time, his company is buying it.
His company is buying it.
It's just, I mean, so unethical.
Right.
And there's more examples in this video as well. I'm not going to play it. It's 17 minutes long. Obviously, we don't have time for that, but check this video out. I'll drop it below and you could see the game that these guys play. Do not trust them. So when you see JP Morgan analysis coming out saying, oh, it smells like, late 2017, what? As in we're going to dump all the way down 94%? Think about it, guys. What is the hidden agenda? What are they trying to do? Okay? Just think about it. I just wanted to point that out. So enough with the negativity, but you got to be aware of this. Be smart. We're not going to get tricked like we were before, and understand that right now we still have the power as the little guys, as the little fish, right? To really take some of that wealth back from these 1%ers, okay? I just wanted to point that out to you guys. Let's talk about some good news. So we did have Bitcoin's wild ride that came out on 60 Minutes. If you guys had a chance to check it out, I did. I was very pleased with it. It was a very nice, tastefully done little segment. They didn't really talk anything that much about the illegal stuff. I mean, there was Charlie Shrem in there. They talked a little bit about, you know, his situation, but it was actually very tastefully done. Kudos to you. Thank you so much, 60 Minutes. You guys did a good job. Also, if you guys want to do a bit of a follow-up here, they put out this 60 Minutes overtime clip. Where in the world is Bitcoin's mysterious creator? You can see it's already had 17,000 views. It's only 3 minutes, but if you guys haven't seen it, I'll drop that below for you as well. And the one thing before we go, the most important thing, it's not about making money. I mean, it's nice to make money, right? It's nice to see your portfolio go up, but I just want to point this out. Take this tweet and look at that chart below. If an Argentinian had bought Bitcoin at the highest point of the biggest bubble in history, okay? Which means if you had bought Bitcoin using, and you were in Argentina and you bought at the all-time high, it says you would be better off than leaving your money in an Argentinian bank account, okay? And you can see right here, she says, so tell me again how Bitcoin is a horrible store of value, okay? Look at that. Look at that. Obviously, this isn't dollars, but that is just amazing. So guys, when you realize that Bitcoin isn't about making money, it's about replacing money. And that's why we're all here. I know, we're here for the money too, but I also know we're here for the tech, right? We're here for the tech. No, we're definitely here because it's going to change the world, guys, okay? And yeah, one more thing before we go. You can now send and receive Bitcoin on WhatsApp, okay? You guys happy? A little positive news at the end? All right, so that is it for me today, guys. Obviously, I want to say thanks again. No, I did not forget about the Ledger Nano S giveaway. We're going to do that in just a second, but I put this at the end of the video for the diehards. I didn't want to put it at the beginning. I want to say thank you so much because you guys have honestly been one of the freaking most awesome communities I've ever come across in my entire life. I am honored to be a part of this crypto community with you, and I really do love you guys. Every single one of you. Seriously, you're awesome. Thank you so much for all your support. And also, I wanted to just play this quick reel. It's about 47 seconds long, and it was because of you that I was actually able to take away 5 awards from the Crypto Influencer Awards, including Influencer of the Year. I wanted to say thank you so much, guys. So once again, thank you so much. You are so awesome. Even though these awards are just for fun, they don't really mean anything. You know, I don't think I'm a better influencer than anyone else. I don't even like being called an influencer, honestly. I would prefer to be called a content creator. I don't like the idea of influencing people. I like the idea of people thinking for themselves. But that being said, you guys rock. Thank you so much. And now let's get to the Ledger Nano X. Oh no, I'm sorry, S. I don't have any X's to give away. S giveaway. So we're gonna go over here. We had 8 videos last week because we had the tutorial video, and remember, all videos count. Number 1. Oh wow, so that's Monday's video. Okay, so Monday was Bitcoin consensus pump. Oh, that was a good one, and we had a pump that day. That was a good day. That was a good day. So we're gonna copy that. Go over to our random comment picker. Yeah, that was a good day, man. I mean, it just pumped. So we have 527 unique comments. All right, drum roll, please. Hope market trace back 40% so that I can buy some. Ledger Nano will be best place to secure them. Absolutely. There you go. So, what is that? Is it Rabini? Are you supposed to pronounce the 1 like that, or is it just like Robin 1, Tim Cena? Well, anyway, I probably pronounced that wrong, but you won. Congratulations. Hey, listen, if it does go down 40%, it's going to suck short term. I don't care. I'll buy more. Like, honestly, like, I don't care. I'll take a dip. I'll take a dip. So, that being said, you know how to get a hold of me. Hit me up in my official Telegram chat above my head over here. Totally free to join the community. You guys know that. Or just hit me up in my About section. You can check my email over there. And also wanted to say before you guys go, thank you so much for everyone that's been supporting the channel, that's been picking up your Ledger Nano X's and Ledger Nano S's using my referral link below. Also, I do have a referral link for Brave Browser. If you guys are tired of watching these ads on the videos, you can actually actually download it for a ad-free experience. And you'll also get $5 worth of basic attention token to use on the platform. There you go. So thank you so much for coming back to the channel. You guys rock. I freaking love you. It's Monday. Let's get it. Let's do it. My name is K-Dub. This is Crypto Zombie. Until next time, stay crypto and peace out.